Hi there and welcome to the Superboot Camps running review. And what we're looking at today here is 3 different running shoes that allow you to partake in the minimalist running craze that seems to be going about at the moment. The 3 different shoes are a pair of homemade Huarache sandals, a pair of Innovate f-lite 195s and a pair of Merrell trail gloves. What I'm going to do is give you some of the characteristics that you should be looking for when deciding on what type of minimalist or barefoot running you want to do. All these 3 shoes have got some very similar characteristics and they're also very, very different. So if we start with the absolute minimal ones, we'll look at the Huarache sandals. What you can see is that as soon as I pick it up, it's very, very flexible and doesn't give the foot any sort of support whatsoever. In fact, you can twist it, you can turn it, and there's nothing on top of it at all to hold or restrict your foot in any way. Having said that, the rubber itself is actually, once you start to bend it beyond its little bit, it's actually quite resilient. So if you can see on the tread there that having run around about 50 miles in these, obviously not too much, there's almost no wearing on this tread whatsoever. So this is going to last a long time. And in fact, even when it wears down to flat, this tread will still be totally usable because it's not there for grip purposes. These aren't trail running shoes necessarily, certainly not in the British sense, because it's just too wet and too damp and too muddy here. These are really shoes that I use for running on the road. As you can see, I've tied them in a way that would allow me to just slip my foot right in there, and then the sandal just lifts and comes up and down with the foot, providing absolutely minimal protection. Essentially what these are for is just making sure that your feet don't get cuts, don't get scrapes, and don't develop the blisters that are almost inevitable when you're starting to learn minimalist or barefoot running, especially barefoot running, with feet that are so used to being inside shoes and feet that are essentially very, very soft. Even after walking outside, as I've been doing for about the last 6 months, every time I go to the shops, for example, I go barefoot, and I still have to run with something on my feet just to stop that consistent rubbing right in the sole or the forefoot area, where I'm not sure if you can see on this video, but already started to wear into this rubber and make it a little bit flatter, a little bit harder, especially on the suede here. You can feel that this is very much harder here compared to the softer areas where there's almost no contact and certainly no pressure contact with the foot. So in the next video I'll move on to the f-lites, and then in the final video I'll move on to the Merrells.